Well, hello, folks, and welcome to James Morris World Traveler. In this video, I'm going to be doing a quick review about Westjet, international flights, as well as my domestic flight that I incurred this past summer in June of 2023. Now, to get onto that, I'm going to make this as quick as possible, first of all, because I don't want to talk too much about this. This is going to be as short as possible video, as much as I can, but I want to talk about a few things. First of all, the planes themselves. Domestically, they are still a big plane. Obviously, the plane itself is big, but the inside, with the amount of space they cram in, unless you get an upgrade, they typically cram in as many people as possible for seat wise. So personally, I found that the seats are very cramped in the standard seats. Um, Leg room is not that great. The handles on either side of you very tight against my body because again, I'm a big person and I don't look that big waist wise, but I have a tight space on the waist end between each seat handle. Now, that said, internationally, you have a lot more space on the seat. Like 1 or 2 inches make a difference, including leg room and waist side. Now, that said, again, now let's talk about the entertainment. You have to download the app if you're going domestically in Canada. I find I had to fly to Calgary, and that was about an hour flight. And then I flew to London, England, which the planes are, like I said, bigger. And the entertainment side, you don't have on the back of the seat locally and domestically, you don't have the entertainment screen that you have on the international flight, where you have the screen on the back of the person in front of you seat. You have to download locally, like I mentioned briefly, on the app, whether on an iPad or a phone. You can download the app for WestJet and do it that way if you want to when you're locally, domestically. Again, they have the screens on the back of the seat for internationally for long haul flights. So you can watch movies, watch TV shows, and play games and music, um, depending on what you like. Now, with the food wise, in fact, let me revert back to um, snacks and food uh, and the service from the people. Now, I do enjoy the service from the WestJet employees. They serve usually one, maybe two snacks, depending on the length of the flight. If you're only having an hour flight, say for me, when I flew to Calgary, maybe you get one snack because it's an hour flight. You're not going to get more than that. If you're flying to Toronto from, like, say, Vancouver, or vice versa, or end to end of the coast, you might get minimum two snacks and drink. Again, it depends on how far your flight is, right? Internationally, on the other hand, you will, on average, get one, depending on your flight. Again, if you're leaving at night, most international flights that I've experienced are nighttime. So I get one snack usually. Sometimes I've gotten dinner as well as breakfast in the morning. They gave us dinner or breakfast, I meant. So those things you do get on a long haul flight. The service from them, typically, I found, even domestically, were decent. They're nice people. They give you basically what you want. As long as you're nice to them, it's an enjoyable flight. Obviously, that's included in your flight for basic drinks and a snack and or dinner. But if you want something In the meantime, they do come around and give you paid food if you want to actually physically pay, even on the 1 hour flight or 2 hour flight. I found I don't do that, so at the end of the day, I just don't spend that extra money unnecessarily. So I believe I did talk about everything. So overall, I'm going to say the flights domestically, I don't like them as much just because they're a little more cramped for a big person like myself. But it was still somewhat okay for everything else. The enjoyability of the service people, the flight attendants, as well as if I wanted to play a game, I can just play a game on my iPad. I have an iPad I bring. Internationally, you do have that ability to watch movies and other entertainment that you have on the back of the seat, where you just plug in your headphones into the armrest. There's a plug there. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. Overall, like I said, I really enjoyed the international flights more than anything. Actually, let me go back to that. Internationally, I really enjoy the flights, even though most of the time I fly after like 9, 10 o'clock at night. So I sleep half the time. Never the best sleep. Sleeping on a plane is never the best, actually, in my opinion. But you make do. So at the end of the day, overall, I really enjoy the international flight over the domestic, just because of the space wise. Internationally, it's much more roomy, unless you get the upgrade to the higher class, which then you have a lot more room. But standard seat, I should say seats, not standard room. That would be a hotel. Um, that's kind of funny, actually. I said that. So anyway, at the end of the day, I do enjoy both flights for the most part. I just prefer international flights just due to the spacier area when you're sitting. Anyway, thank you very much, and we will talk to you in the next video. Ciao for now.